everyone, this is Jamie. I want to welcome you to my video and to my channel. If you are new, I want to just welcome you, give you a special shout out. If you are one of my subscribers, thanks for coming back. And today I wanted to actually talk about Faber Castell Gelatos. And I have the pastel ones. I keep them in a little bucket. I have a little like hangy hook on my cart and I just hang them on there. If I get more, which I would love to have more someday, I will have to think of another storage solution. But until then, this works just fine. So I have the pastel, and then I do have a few like regular shades that I bought open stock from Michael's that aren't pastel. Let me find one of those. It's like this was one that I bought open stock. And let me find one that's darker so you guys can see. So it says Faber Castell on it, and this one is metallic grape. And it gives you a number right here, and it says Gelatos, and it comes in this little container that is about the size of a chapstick. I think I have it. Well, I don't have a chapstick next to me, but here's a glue stick, like an Elmer's glue stick. See, it's comparable to the size of an Elmer's glue stick. This is just a standard one. Just to give you guys kind of an idea of the size of these. So they are smaller. They open up just like a chapstick. And this one is new, so it might be hard to twist. Of course, it's going to give me issues because this is the one I picked. I'll pick another one. So it just rolls out like this. And you can clearly see I've almost used this entire one. This is one of my favorite colors to use. And this is the iced pear. So this is a metallic one. It's kind of like a metallic light green. Here's one that is like a metallic blue. I like to use it for water, because with the metallic blue, it gives like this perfect shine to the water, so you don't have to actually go in and add too many white highlights. It automatically does it for you, which is nice. And I have like colors like this that are like great skin tone colors. This is just peach. This is from the pastel collection, as you can clearly see. I wonder why that one didn't roll. But there's like a plethora of colors out there. The texture on these particular things is really smooth. It's not as creamy as, say, a gel crayon, which I did the gel crayon video prior to this one. That one is super, super creamy. These are a little harder than that, but they are still super soft. So I'm not going to like swatch out every single one, but I want to kind of give you an idea of like how soft it is. This is a pretty bright color, so I know it will stand out. So I'm going to just take this straight and color it on my paper. It's creating a shadow, so look at that, like that. Zoom up just a little. So I'm going to just color it straight. This is like neon, but I don't know if you guys can see the neon on the thing. But I have colored it straight. This is cardstock, by the way. And if you just smooth it out with your finger, you can get nice blend, or nice smudge, I guess you could say. Now, say you wanted to make it just a little more smudgy. We're going to add some here. And I am just moistening my fingers with the wet wipe, and see how much farther and smoother it went that time. So let me write moist finger plain rub. Alright, so we have this kind of thing you can do. Another person actually wanted me to try taking the wet wipe directly on there. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to do that with the purple here. So I took the purple and I'm going to just take the wet wipe, go directly on the paper. And as you can see, that rubbed really well, but it did take a lot of the pigment out. So we'll put with wet wipe. But you can do that as well. Another thing that you can do, let me see if I can find a plastic mat. Alright, so I have a plastic mat here. You can take, I'm just looking for darker colors so they show up. You can take some, rub it on a plastic mat like that. Use your water brush, just make sure this is clean. Use it on your plastic mat and paint with it. If you want, you can say you wanted to do it directly on the paper and you wanted to use your water brush directly on paper. You can do that too. Something that you may not know is you can take like a little spray bottle like this. I'm hoping I might have to grab a knife, and this might be too much water, but let me see if I can get a really dark color. Let me grab a little knife. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to dump out a little bit of this water. I only want a tiny bit of water in there. And you can take some of your pigment, as I just like made a mess on my stuff. And you could put it in your bottle of water. Maybe you could have just went like this instead of the knife, but if I can get it in there without making too big of a mess. See if that's enough. Shake it up. Let it kind of dilute itself. I'm going to this away while it's doing that. I'll have to clean that up. Made a mess there. So see how it's kind of purple-ish color? You can add more pigment to it, but you can create a spray if I can get it to work. I don't know if I put enough pigment in it because it looks still pretty white. Yeah, maybe I need to let that sit for a minute. I'm going to let that sit for a minute and see if we can get it to, or maybe I'll have to add more pigment. But while I'm waiting, now that this is all wet, you can also use stencils. So say you want to do the stencil approach, you can just put in your color kind of in your basic circles here. And since we know that the wet wipe can rub really well, I'll just use the wet wipe. Just rub it. There we go. We have created bubbles, and you could outline them if you wanted to. Say you wanted to blend two colors together. One of the techniques that I like to use, it's kind of a fun thing to do, is I like to take colors, make random dots on a piece of paper. Say we'll do the orange. Use one of my favorite colors, the green. We'll add more there. Let's go with one more color, the bright one, like this neon yellow. Kind of filling in those gaps a little bit. I mean, you could leave it like that if you want, or if you want to, you can rub them in with each other. Sorry, I'm pushing and it's like moving my desk while I'm pushing. Do apologize about that, but I want you guys to see. You can rub them together like that. And say you look at that and you go, I want more orange. Add more orange. See, so you can do like marbly effects by doing things like that, or you could do them in lines. So you can do stencils, you can do that. You can paint like watercolor. You can just do like easy rub. You can just color with them straight. Say you are doing the water. Let me find that color that I like to use for the water. So water is not just blue, if you look at water. So I like to pull colors like this. Here we have the metallic blueberry and metallic mint. So this is like a green color and this is blue, obviously. And the more gelato you have on a page, the better they rub out. So say I'm gonna do some water. And add some of this in there too, because we know that water isn't just blue. And I'm going to add some white. So this is metallic icing. So we're going to add that in there with it. I'm just adding some more blue, or I think I should add some more. The more you put on the paper, the better off you'll be. And I'm going to just rub it in. Obviously, I feel like I should have some more blue, so I'm going to add more blue. Okay, so say that's your figuratively water shade. After you're kind of done there, you may not like it exactly, so you could take your water brush, kind of drown it out in certain spots if you wanted to, because it's still movable with water even though you rubbed it. Say you are good with that, you can take your, I have a white pen here somewhere, you can take your jelly rolls and add, this is wet so it's not going to work here. I don't have a white Posca next to me, but you can add lines in there. Yeah, this isn't gonna work because it's wet. But once it's dry, you can add lines into that water and it will look nice. We can come back and do that. Let me check this purple. Like I said, this may not be concentrated enough, but we'll obviously, maybe the metallics don't work. So I saw this technique, but they were using the regular gelatos, so maybe the metallics just don't work. I am not sure, but it's good to test these things on camera too, to show you guys that I'm not an expert. I'm just showing you different things that I have done and experienced. So you can smooth them out like this and this and this, basically, and use your water. You can also do the direct approach and use it straight out, like you would like this, and paint like watercolor if you want to. Like, say you wanted to add some more waves here, you could, if you feel like you need more pigment on your paper, but this probably has enough pigment in it. You can just swirl it around and you can create different effects. See, I'm not even picking up color from the brushes, but if you can clearly see, I'm making little effects that make it look like water. Another thing, so I like to do this like in backgrounds that are like massive backgrounds. You can also do the kind of thing where you want, say, a sunset, and say we have red going into, if I can, this is a very bright orange and that wasn't like a deep enough red, but you get the idea. So we've got kind of like a red color, an orange, and the bright yellow. I'm going to just blend those in together because you can blend them side by side. See, so you easily can blend that together. And this was obviously water. We did this background, we did stencils. This is a plain rub, moist finger. This is a wet wipe. This is basically coloring from palette. This was coloring with water straight on the page. And I wish I could show you guys how this worked, because I've seen it done before, but it's just not working for me right now. So, but these are the kind of different techniques you can use with your gelatos. And I do want to show you guys a picture where I've done gelatos in the background. Give me just a second to grab the book. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So in my Anamorphia book, let's move that. I have right here this whole background that's kind of marbly. This has been done with gelato. All I did was do random markings all over the page, and then I rubbed them in, so it created that marbly texture. So I actually only used that light green that I just showed you and one shade darker. It was like a darker green, but they were both metallic, and I just rubbed them in using kind of a moist finger and got this metallic look. So that turned out really well. And I've used the stencil approach as well for like accenting pages, but that's pretty much the different techniques I use with my gelatos. You can color with gelatos straight if you want. Let me just grab a book off my desk here. I'll just grab this one. I'm just pulling a random page. No rhyme or reason to it. You can color with them straight, obviously. I'm just going to kind of color this leaf for you. And this technique is very similar to what I did for the gel crayon video, by using the water brush and basically just swishing the color around. The nice thing about gelatos compared to the gel crayons is they come in some fun kind of shades, like the metallics and the pastels. I don't know if you can see that, but it's metallic. And once it dries, we'll give it a second to dry, you can go over it with pencil. I have found it is a little tricky to go over gelatos with gel pen. I don't know if it just wants to slide off or what, but white Posca pen, you do fine. White Jelly Roll, I've seemed to do okay, but like your normal gel pens have issues. So that's just something to keep in mind. Let me show you. So you can, it's probably still wet. But you can obviously color on top of these once they're completely dry. And let's just kind of give us a little bit of a background, shall we? Since we're waiting for that to dry. And can you see I'm like totally scribbling all over this page? That's okay. We can try using our wet wipe if we want. So we've got some blue, so we want to come up with some purple, and obviously we can color over gelato. So we're just going to blend that in with the blue. I think. So see how I've done kind of like a purpley blue background? Once that kind of dries a little bit, I can go in and you can use your finger. I was just trying to do it quickly, so this video wasn't extremely long. You can purchase wet wipes like at the dollar store, so they're fairly inexpensive. But I'm going to just show you guys that you can color on top of this. Maybe I'll just use a fine liner to try to show you. We can try to do it with a marker. Just pick one that makes sense. Might be still wet, but now I'm going to give it a try. I think it's struggling a little bit because my paper is still wet. So I'm going to give it a blast with my heat gun. That's dry. Maybe this is as light as this marker is. Let me try a pencil. But as you can see, I can color with pencil over the top without any problem. Here we've done pencil. Let's try a gel pen. Some gel pens might work, some do not. So let's try this blue one, even though we're coloring something green. This is just a test. Nothing fabulous. So obviously the Pentel Sparkle Pop goes right over the top without any problem. So let me just show you guys. You can see the metallic that was left there, and you can obviously use many colors, and it's a great way to create a background in kind of a rush, or if you were thinking that you want to do one, I suggest if you're going to use these for a background, do your background first. Because if you do your background after you've colored your main image, it's going to probably go into your image and it might present some problems for you. And I'd hate for your picture to get ruined because you use the gelato after. But there are ways you can use the gelato after. You just have to be really careful not to go into your page. But yeah, if you have any questions for me or comments, just leave it in the description box or in the comment section below. I'll try to answer it the best I can. I'm just trying to think of any techniques that I didn't show you. I can't think of anything off the bat. And I really think that this didn't work because of the fact that we had metallic. I do wonder though, I'm just going to test out this area right here, what will happen if I sprayed. So I did a little spray and look how much faster that smoothed out. So you could spray a little bit of water on your paper to smooth it out. And see how that's like a perfect circle, because I did a perfect circle. But yeah, I hope this helps. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I appreciate everyone that's watching. Thanks again, guys. Love you all. Happy color. Hi guys, I'm back. After I had recorded the video, I actually stumbled across another technique and I wanted just to fit it in at the end of this video so I could show you. So with one of my packets of gelatos, when I bought them, it came with this little brush and it's like a bristle brush. And I wanted to show this technique to you guys because I thought it was kind of cool for backgrounds if you don't want to use water, if you're nervous about water damaging your books. So I took this color, since I already used this color, put it on your palette, really heavy, and then take your brush, get the color on there really good, and then brush it onto your page. It's almost like distressed crayons. Distressed crayons do the exact same thing. I was just thinking about it and I was like, I wonder if a gelato could do that. And it does. So that is really awesome. And I didn't know this. And so I just discovered it like 10 minutes ago. Let me try a different color. But yeah, I am pretty sure you can get these brushes on Amazon, but I just thought this was a really cool idea in case you guys are nervous about using water or wet wipes because you don't want to warp your pages in any way. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys that real quick before the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys.